Omega Superman is here. Round 2 of DCKO dropped, and this shit is crazy. So boom, we flash back to Bruce, Clark, Diana, and Lois enjoying game night. Bruce asked everybody, if y'all wasn't superheroes, what would y'all be? Clark says Diana would be a tour guide. Diana says Bruce would be a doctor. Bruce says Clark would be the president, and he's dead ass. Clark says he doesn't have that in him. We then jump to present day, and the second round is about to begin. All 32 people get teleported to this wasteland, and while they do, the Heart of Apocalypse announces the second challenge.
I speak as the Heart of Apocalypse, your game master. To become King Omega in his universe, Darkseid had to take to collect power from his kind, primordial beings, gods. Here, each of you must do the same, but from your own kind, your fellow champions. Hidden throughout this realm are some of the most powerful items from your universe.
Shit like Blue Beetle's Scarab, the Godkiller sword, Adam's belt, power rings, Thor's hammer, Bane's venom, the lasso of truth, goddamn everything. When all 16 items are found, the other 16 that doesn't have one will die. Everyone looks around realizing they need to lock in if they want to survive.
There are no rules of conduct. Nothing matters but winning. And remember this rule above all. Here in this arena, if you follow the example of Darkseid, you shall be rewarded. And with that being said, the challenge begins.
Some people can sense items like Hawkman with the Claw of Horus and Cyborg with the Mother Box. But that boy Lex Luthor got some of the best scanners in his suit, and he locates every item. And he immediately heads to the power rings. But Clark is watching him, and the only thing he's worried about is making sure Lex Luthor doesn't win. He flies after Lex Luthor, but he also tries to slow down other villains, because that's why he's here, to make sure the villains fail. All of them, but especially Lex Luthor. And he grabs his ankle and throws him at that big ass skull. Meanwhile, by Adam's belt, we see Diana and Etrigan squabbling.
You can low-key squabble, but this demon right here is gonna kick your ass.
But Diana ain't trying to hear all that. Go to hell! And she kicks him in the chest. After knocking him out, she tries to look for the belt. But when she looks up, she sees Giganta. There's only room for one big girl in this challenge. But above Giganta, someone hovers above her. You call that big? Ta-da! And we see Joker with Adam's belt on. Any last words? Giganta's like, Joker, what the hell are you doing? We're on the same side. Alrighty, I forgot. Then he stomps on Giganta like an ant, killing her. Cheetah and Connor Hulk try to run away from Joker, but they can't dip. He grabs them, then starts yomping on them. Meanwhile, we see Metamorpho and Plastic Man fighting for the Godkiller sword. Plastic Man wraps around him and says there's nothing he can do to dissolve his super plastic. But that was a false claim, and Metamorpho kills Plastic Man. Starro uses that chance to try to grab the Godkiller sword, but nope, Jay Garrick runs in and finesses that shit. Nearby, Guy Gardner is trying to grab the Speed Force ring, but before he can touch it, Harley Quinn stealthily smashes him with her hammer, knocking him out. Then she grabs the ring for herself. Elsewhere, Superman is piecing Lex Luthor up with Dragon Ball Z combos. Lex Luthor, who's bruised and battered, starts thanking Superman for throwing him in the Phantom Zone, because in there, he had an epiphany. But Superman don't give no damn about that, and he's about to knock him out. So Lex reveals his kryptonite collection to weaken Superman. He got green, red, pink, he got them all. And he's doing all this because he wants Superman to listen to his epiphany. I always thought I hated you because you did too much. You stopped humanity from realizing our potential by saving us from failure. But I was wrong. I get that now. Because what I truly hate you for, if I'm being truly honest with myself, is doing too little. So thank you for bringing me to the Phantom Zone. It was revelatory. I wanted you to feel what I felt. Lex pulls out a Phantom Zone sword and slices off Superman's hand. Ah! Like everyone else, Lex got a vision of what the universe could look like if he wins. And he believes Superman's not gonna make anything better if he wins. He's just gonna make everything back to the way it was. He fires kryptonite shards into Superman and explains that everyone, even himself, wants Superman's vision. He's the hero they want to fix all the problems, the death, the misery, the terror. But Lex knows Superman won't do it because he's a coward. That was his epiphany. Then he leaves. Barely conscious, Superman sees Guy Gardner heading for the claw of Horus. But Hawkman swooped in and grabbed that shit. Fuck, not again! Meanwhile, Cyborg found the mother box, and we see Swamp Thing, Big Barda, and Etrigan fighting for the godkiller sword. Lobo ran past them saying, y'all a bunch of bastages. But luckily, he randomly stumbled across Bane's venom. But as soon as he put that shit on, Starro jumped on his back. What the hell? You don't even have no muscles to use it. Starro's like, bro, are you blind? Starfishes are 98% muscle. I'm fucking jacked. But it's too late. Lobo activated the venom, and with this new power, he ripped Starro apart. Sorry, brother. Some got to win, some got to be you. But Starro says another fact about starfish. We regenerate, bastage. Bro regenerated and did shadow clone jutsu and started taking control of other heroes, like Power Girl, Jay Garrick, Wonder Woman, and Firestorm. And he commands them to attack. He uses Power Girl to try to take the Psycho Pirate's mask from Supergirl. He uses Firestorm to try to take the Cosmic Rod from Aquaman. He uses Jay Garrick to try to stop Black Lightning from finding the Warlogog. And finally, Wonder Woman to take down Zatanna before she finds Thor's hammer. Zatanna uses her magic to make Wonder Woman pick up Thor's hammer, and she smashes it on the ground, and the wild thunder frees everybody from Starro's control. For the third time, Guy Gardner tries to grab another item, Blue Beetle's Scarab. But Red Hood dashed in and finessed that shit, made two big-ass Glockianas, and aimed it at Giant Joker. Harley Quinn as a speedster ran in and said, nah, I call dibs. I love when they fight for me. Jason fired the blast at Joker, but Joker disappeared. At that moment, Big Barda started screaming in agony. I haven't felt pain like this since I was in the fire pits. Something hurts. And we see that Joker shrunk down and went in her head, tearing shit up. Elsewhere, Vixen and King Shark face off for the Thunder Pen. Bro tells her, I'm a great white shark. I'm the biggest dog in the ocean. She's like, bro, you know I can channel anything on Earth, including Dinosaur Island, where there are bigger fish than you. And she hits him with the Megalodon attack. While they were squabbling, Etrigan took that time to finesse the pen. We also see that Zatanna claimed the godkiller sword. We then jump to Lex Luthor, who's dashing for the lantern rings. Luthor! Star Sapphire hit him with a construct of the entire Fortress of Solitude, then collected all of the power rings. She got all but one. Lex Luthor has the Black Lantern ring. She's like, I don't care. What good is the black ring when there's no dead people to control? You sure about that? And he channels his ring's power. We cut to Clark, who's still struggling because he got them kryptonite shards in him. Supergirl flies in and offers him her mask, saying she'll go find something else. But Captain Atom comes in and hits her ass and says, I'll be taking that. But before Superman can even focus on that, he senses that Lex Luthor has won. With his Black Lantern ring, we see he raised up the dead Elder Gods, and he starts taking out heroes. He hit Clark with this evil-ass stare down too. We flash back to their game night. The point of this flashback is Bruce telling Clark that sometimes things change, and you're gonna need new solutions. And that was the perfect flashback that Clark needed right now. He thinks back on something that was said. Follow the example of Darkseid, and you shall be rewarded. His solution is the example of Darkseid, who not just sacrificed his hand, but his life to become something more. Clark thinks of the mystery item, one of the only things left unclaimed, and he grabs the kryptonite shard in his shoulder and stabs himself in the chest. Clark ends Superman, and he arises back up with the mystery item, the Omega Sanction, the power of Darkseid himself. With his Omega Beam vision, he decimates the Elder Gods. No! I had you beat! You lose, Luthor. But before Clark can hit Lex with a beam, Guy Gardner found the last item, the Warlogog, meaning this round is officially over, and Lex Luthor was saved by the bell. 16 champions move on to the next round, and we see the official list. Outside in the Watchtower, Time Trapper's like, we should have our new King Omega here soon. But Booster Gold is like, nah, we don't need one. We already have me. Darkseid, and it's time for me to enter the arena. Darkseid revealed that Booster Gold was his avatar, and he starts choking Time Trapper. Unfortunately, that's the end of this issue, but all I know is that next one's finna be crazy. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments, and on that note, I'm gonna see y'all boys and girls next time.